Major Mara Cade slammed her fist on the console. Red lights flared across the command deck of the forward bunker. "Wake protocol now," she barked. Alarms wailed. Orbital defense nets snapped online. Hidden railgun batteries, missile silos, and laser arrays powered up in Earth's shadow. The alien armada hung above the planet, their fusion drives glowing like predatory eyes. Veshkor's fleet had jumped in hot, weapons charging, expecting a panicked surrender. They got silence first. Cade's screens filled with status pings, satellites repositioned, dormant drones swarmed from lunar depots. "All nets green," reported Lieutenant Hale from the orbital grid. "Weapons hot, signatures masked." "Good. Keep them cold until my mark." Cade's fingers flew over the logistics overlay. Civilian shipping lanes blinked, freighters, tankers, bulk carriers scattered across Sol system. The aliens thought humanity's economy was a weakness, a sprawling mess of primitives. She turned it into fangs. "Redirect all civi traffic," Cade ordered. "Route bulk haulers to tender points Alpha through Zulu. Sergeant Park, you have the deck on resupply." Sergeant Jun Park's gravelly voice crackled over the comm. "On it, Major." Fuel pods from Mars relay incoming. Ammo crates palletized and jumping in 5. Those civi captains are griping, but they're loading fast. "Make them love it. Incentives tripled." Cade watched the icons shift. Freighters shed cargo drones, refitted mid-flight into emergency tenders. Bulk ore carriers gulped fighter squadrons from hidden bays. Tankers pumped plasma cells into waiting corvettes. What the aliens saw as fat merchantmen became fleet auxiliaries. Veshkor's lead picket destroyer edged closer, scanners probing. Cade's threat board lit up. "They're pinging our orbitals, light stuff." Dr. Sienna Patel leaned into the holofeed from her deception hub. "Feeding them ghosts, Major." Spoofed signals mimicking panic civi chatter. "They're buying it, thinks we're fracturing." Cade nodded. Patel's pattern analysis had mapped the alien playbook weeks ago. Veshkor assumed humans dormant because scans showed no standing fleets, no massive armies. Just endless drills and shipments. "Silent comms across the board," Cade commanded. "Quantum links only, push decoy traffic hard, make it look like we're screaming for mercy." The bunker went tomb quiet. No radio bursts, no laser chatter. Only tight beam pulses bounced through buried fiber and neutrino relays. Decoy buoys lit up outer space, broadcasting fake surrender frequencies laced with Patel's spoofs. Ghost fleets appeared on enemy scopes, hulking carriers that weren't there. Captain Elias Rourke's voice cut in from the assault shuttle bays. "Ground pounders geared, Major. Infantry platoons loaded for exo drop. Say the word, we take their beachhead before they dig in." "Hold tempo, Captain," Cade replied. "We bleed them orbital first." "Logistics feeding your birds?" "Park's magic. Full loads, hot swaps ready." Cade's eyes locked on the prime target, the alien picket's bulbous prow bristling with plasma lances. Veshkor's vanguard screening the Armada's descent. Time to wake the dead. "Lagrange Point Station 7, she said. "Cold launch railguns, standby power dump." The station was a husk, or so Intel said. Abandoned mining rig dark for years. Aliens had glossed over it in prelim scans. Engineers had other plans. Deep in the station's core, capacitors hummed to life. Rails spooled up, silent as a sniper's breath. Cade counted down. 3, 2, 1, fire. Slugs the size of buses erupted from the dead station. No muzzle flash, no warning. They crossed the void at Mach 50, kinetic fury unchained. The lead picket destroyer crumpled. Rails punched through its forward shields, shredding the bridge and engine nacelles. Secondary explosions bloomed as ammo bays cooked off. The ship listed venting atmosphere in silver plumes. Admiral Veshkor's bridge erupted in chaos. "What sorcery is this?" he snarled, tentacles slamming consoles. Sensors screamed overload. Human weapons, offline seconds ago, now hammered his screen. "Picket lead down." Shields failing on flanks, his execs chittered in panic. "They hid batteries in debris fields, decoy signals jammed our locks." "Primitives do not hide such power," Veshkor growled. "Reform line, bombardment pattern delta." But Cade was already pivoting. Patel thickened the deception, flood their bands with fake retreat vectors. "Done, they're chasing shadows toward the Uwit." Civilian tenders surged into the fray. Jun Park's logistics web spun gold from chaos. A converted freighter spat a wing of corvettes, engines cold until the last second. They flanked the reeling pickets, missiles away before alien point defense could track. Rourke's shuttles boiled out next. Assault waves green, hitting their drop pods. Infantry slammed into vacuum, magboots locking on enemy hulls. Rourke led the breach himself, breaching charges blooming like flowers. Park, we need breach kits and demo packs yesterday. Pods inbound, Captain. Catch 'em mid-spin. Cade watched the symphony unfold. Her board showed alien carriers committing fighters, superior numbers, plasma claws that outranged human guns. But humans turned the sky into a grinder. Tenders danced evasion patterns, drilled 1,000 times in peacetime sims. Logistics drones zipped through crossfire, refueling birds on the fly. Silent comms kept the web intact, no leaks, no jams. Veshkor's second wave dove, lances carving orbital nets. A human frigate vaporized, but Cade's redirects fed replacements from the tenders. Wake secondary nets, she snapped. Lunar batteries online, more rails answered. Lasers stabbed from abandoned habitats. The alien armada recoiled, their vaunted firepower tangled in human decoys. Park's voice broke through. Major fuel convoy took a hit, rerouting spares from Jovian relay. 10 minutes. Make it 8. Rourke's boys are burning hot. On the picket wreckage, Rourke's Marines fought hull to hull. Enemy boarding parties repelled, he grunted over comm. These squids hit hard up close, but they break when we close. Cade allowed a tight smile. Humans didn't win with brute force. Aliens had that ship's twice the tonnage, drives that warped space. But humanity's edge was rehearsal, endless training evolutions. Logistics chains that laughed at disruption. Coordination that turned civvies into killers. Patel's feed pinged. Admiral's reforming, but he's spooked, assuming we're primitives no more, shifting to standoff bombardment. Not today, Cade tagged the next beat. All tenders Alpha strike prep. Rourke, pull your assault teams to bait them in. Affirm, drawing fire. Rourke's shuttles feinted retreat, luring alien corvettes into kill boxes. Tenders unveiled their fangs, hidden missile pods from cargo holds. Salvos ripped out, guided by Patel's spoofed locks. Veshkor's fleet staggered. How do they sustain this? He roared. No supply lines visible, his analysts babbled. Human ships refueled mid-battle. Fighters swapped bays like clockwork. It defied logic, primitives should crumble. Cade's bunker shook from near misses, a bulkhead groaned. Damage minimal, Hale reported. Batteries reloading. Park status? Ammo train docking now, Major. We're outlasting these tentacles. The railgun station fired again, crippling another picket. Alien carriers pulled back, their invasion stalled. Cade leaned forward, the armada's glow dimmed, recalculating. Earth's answer wasn't done. Phase 2, she said. Commit the tenders full. Rourke ground the beachhead. Patel cracked their command net. Hooks sank deep, the counter-invasion bit. Captain Elias Rourke slammed his boot onto the shattered gantry. Garrison, on me, anchors ours, hold the line. Shrapnel pinged off his helmet. Alien drop pods cratered the tarmac 50 meters upslope, disgorging skittering assault troops with plasma lances. The space elevator anchor loomed behind him, a kilometer-tall pylon of carbon weave and fusion clamps, humming under partial power. Scattered human squads hugged cover, a mechanized platoon short on tracks, infantry remnants from the first wave, civvy militia with scavenged rail rifles. Captain, Sergeant Hale, his platoon leader, crawled from a ditch, arm bandaged. Lost half my fire team to those pods. Ammo's thin, Rourke keyed his squad net. Thin beats empty, rally at the clamp housings, form kill zones. Park, where's my resupply? Sergeant Jun Park's voice crackled through. Drones inbound, 5 mics, fuel carts 2, hold the fort, Cap, we're threading hellfire down here. Rourke nodded to himself. Logistics didn't quit. He waved his assault team forward. Marines, suppress those bugs, civvies barricade the base level. Plasma scorched the air. Rourke's rifle barked. 3-round bursts dropped the lead alien skirmishers. Their carapaces split like overripe fruit. Humans surged from hiding. A militia engineer jury-rigged a cargo hauler into a barricade, its treads grinding ferrocrete. Infantry laid down interlocking fire. The mechanized platoon unlimbered Coke's cannons, chewing pods midair. Aliens faltered, they pressed, but humans held tempo. Rourke's tac display lit green, garrison coalesced, 80% accountability, anchor secured. Lockdown complete, Rourke reported to Major Cade. Elevators ours, no lifts running, but clamps engaged. Cade's reply snapped back. Good work. Patel's spoofing their scans, buying you window, rig those drones. Rourke grinned under his visor. Cargo drones dotted the anchor yard, hulks meant for orbital freight now grounded by EMP bursts. His teams swarmed them. Engineers. Strip the nav pods, wire in our seekers, Rourke pointed. Arm warheads from the ammo pallets, make 'em interceptors. Hale's crew yanked panels, sparks flew. A Civitech jury-rigged guidance from a wrecked fighter drone. Guidance hot, Cap, range 20 clicks. Paint the landing corridor. Rourke jabbed his display. Enemy shuttles arrowed down the elevator's shadow path, funneled by terrain. Perfect kill box. Drones hummed alive. Rourke's finger hovered over launch. Fire! 24 cargo hulks rocketed skyward. No sleek fighters, these were blunt bricks with missile fangs. Alien corvettes in low-orbit vectored escorts. Too late. Drones swarmed the corridor. Proximity fuses popped. Warheads from Park's train bloomed into shrapnel storms. Shuttles shredded, debris rained like meteors. One corvette yawed, engines venting plasma before vanishing in a secondary blast. Rourke whooped. Corridor clear, second waves blind. Patel's voice cut in. Their forward controllers dropping hot, solo pod 2 clicks east. Intel says it's beaming landing codes. Grab it. Rourke's teams moved. He led the sprint across blasted earth, rifle hot. Alien wreckage smoked. A fresh pod split open ahead, a bulbous controller drone, its occupant scrambling out. A Vesh Corps officer in iridescent armor, tentacles clutching a data slate. Flank it, Rourke ordered. His Marines poured fire. The alien dodged behind wreckage, lances flashing. One Marine dropped, armor breached. Rourke rolled left, flanked the pod, grenade out thump. The blast stunned the controller. Rourke charged, tackled it mid-tentacle flail. Pinned it, got your scheduler, squid. The alien hissed, translator chip glitching. Primitives, release, fleet crushes. Rourke zip-tied its limbs, ripped the slate free. Park, data dump this, crack the schedule. Back at the anchor, engineers plugged in. Sergeant Park's logistics feed synced. Downloading. Second wave, 12 shuttles, staggered drops, 0900 Zulu, heavy mechs, infantry screens, beachhead push. Rourke studied the slate's hollow. Precise timings. LZ grids, Vesh Corps' arrogance, telegraphed like a parade. Burn it into a kill plan. Rourke tagged ambush points. Hale in place demo charges at Grid Alpha. Marines hull down at Bravo. Civies drone remotes on Overwatch. Teams executed. Park's ammo train rolled in, crates of AP rounds, demo packs, fuel for the drones. Humans worked like a hive, no chatter, pure drill, 0850. Rourke crouched in a revetment, his pulse steady. Training kicked in, small unit habits scaled fleet-wide. Shuttles screamed down the cleared corridor, right on schedule. Ambush, Rourke roared. Demo charges erupted under the lead landers, fuselages split. Marines' rifles chattered, precision fire punch joints dropped pilots mid-unload. Cargo drones, relaunched, swarmed the heavies, warheads cored engines. Alien mechs lumbered out, towering walkers with beam arrays. One pivoted toward Rourke's position. He triggered the claymores. Shrapnel pulped its legs, it toppled. Infantry screens broke. Humans pressed. A militia squad flanked with RPGs, knockout blows. Vesh Corps' troops rooted, abandoning gear. Rourke keyed command net. Beachhead shattered, second wave zeroed. Captured slate says third inbound. Static burst. Admiral Vesh Corps' voice boomed through the alien's translator, patched via slate. Human, how? Our timetable, Rourke smirked. Your timetable's ours now, Admiral. Rehearsal beats invasion, Cade chimed. Rourke, solid copy, Park's pushing heavies, Patel's jamming their net, hold for Phase 3. Explosions lit the horizon, tenders committed full, cargo ships unveiling rail batteries, alien carriers reeled. But the slate pinged, reinforcements accelerating, Vesh Corps adapted. Rourke gripped his rifle, time to outlast. High orbit, Admiral Vesh Corps slammed a console. Impossible, primitives predict our drops, analyst tentacles quivered. They captured forward controller Thal. Schedule compromised, Vesh Corps snarled. Bombard the anchor, glass it. Sensors flickered, human signals spoofed ghost fleets on scopes, real tenders slipped through, missiles live. Primitives fight like coordinated swarm, an officer muttered. No panic. Supplies flow unbroken. Vesh Corps' fleet reformed, but Earth's hooks dug deeper. Rourke's tack pinged, Park's voice, fuel dump complete, Cap, third wave's mechs inbound, heavy. We got parts for your drones? Affirm. Rourke eyed the alien slate. One more pattern. Rig the elevator clamps, drop a surprise on 'em. His garrison hustled. Coordination turned desperation to dagger. Shuttles darkened the sky again. Rourke's ambush waited. Dr. Sienna Patel watched feeds in the bunker. Rurks turning their playbook inside out. Command net cracking, Veshkors spamming overrides. Major Cade nodded. Park surged the train, we break them here. Hooks bit bone deep. Counter-invasion surged. Word count 1487. Dr. Sienna Patel slammed the enter key. Lines of alien code unraveled on her screen, traffic patterns folding under redundancy traps she'd laced into their own backups. The command cipher shattered. Got it, she barked into her headset. Cade, their net's mine. Veshkor's overrides are blind now. Static crackled. Major Mara Cade's voice cut through. Feed it real time. Rurk needs eyes on their drops. Patel dragged the decrypted stream into her overlay. Stolen telemetry bloomed, alien vectors, troop loads, fuel states. She sliced a real-time invasion map and pinged Cade's slate. Map live, they're bunching frigates at Grid Echo 7. Rurk's window opens in 90 seconds. Alarms blared. Enemy probes sniffed her bunker feed. Patel triggered countermeasures, ghost packets flooding their scanners. The probes veered off, chasing shadows. She leaned back, eyes on the main hollow. Veshkor's fleet loomed, carriers disgorging dropships. But her map showed the cracks, overextended supply lines, predictable rally points. Humans had rehearsed this for decades. Aliens saw silence as surrender. Patel, inject the bait, Cade ordered. Patel cued the false distress beacons. She spoofed human signatures, crippled destroyers broadcasting panic bursts from the outer belts. Alien frigates bit hard, peeling off-screen to chase phantoms. 3 frigates diverted. 2 more followed. Veshkor's screen would show a crumbling flank. Perfect. Patel's console pinged, Sergeant Jun Park's convoy status. Dock, trains rolling heavy, fuel and ammo surging to Rurk. Their drones can't touch us underground. Keep it flowing, Patel replied. This spoof needs teeth. She layered the fleet-wide deception. Human forces ghosted, asleep in Sector Delta 9, decoy signatures pulsing low power, mimicking dormant patrols. Real task forces slipped through Beta Corridor, tenders unloading rail batteries under cover. Veshkor's command chatter spiked in her earpiece, decrypted and raw. Primitives scatter, press the weak sector, Patel smirked. She taught them that pattern weeks ago, leaking false SIM data through captured probes. Earth stayed quiet because she scripted the quiet. A new alert flashed, Rurk's ground assault live. Captain Elias Rurk crouched in the trench line, rifle trained on the descending shuttles. His tack slate glowed with Patel's map, alien drops pinpointed, frigates dragged away. Park, heavies confirmed, Rurk whispered. Park's gravel voice rumbled back. Mechs dropping now, Cap. Rigged your drones with fresh parts. Elevator clamps set for the drop. Explosions rocked the ridge. Alien Vanguard hit dirt, plasma rifles sweeping. Rurk's platoon opened up, disciplined bursts chewing through the first wave. Hold tempo, Rurk growled. No terrain lost. His Marines moved like clockwork, small unit drills scaled to battalion. They leapfrogged cover, drones swarming low to vector fire. Aliens faltered, coordinated swarm tactics met human stubbornness. One Xeno charged, tentacles flailing. Rurk put 3 rounds center mass, it crumpled. Inbound heavies, his LT called. Patel's bait worked, air cover thin. Rurk eyed the sky. Shuttles darkened it, but frigates stayed off-grid. Park's train rumbled subsurface, pumping ammo belts. Clamp the elevators, Rurk ordered. Surprise inbound. Garrison teams triggered the rigs. Orbital elevators, civilian relics groaned alive. Loaded with Park's cargo, fuel drums, drone husks, railgun slugs, they plummeted like meteors slamming alien clusters. Shuttles scattered. Wreckage rained fire. Rurk's line pushed forward, reclaiming the ridge. Phase 3, Cade's voice chimed. Tenders committed. Hold for counter. Rurk gripped his rifle tighter, outlast them, always. High-orbit Admiral Veshkor lashed a tentacle across the bridge. Frigates diverted, Sector Delta bleeds signals, bombard it. Sensors lied, ghost fleets flickered. Real human tenders ghosted through, missiles hot. Analyst, Veshkor roared. Explain this swarm coordination, tentacles quivered. Primitives, predict drops, supplies flow unbroken, no panic signatures, officers muttered. Humans fought without rage, logistics chains intact, units refusing ground inch by inch. Veshkor's armada outgunned them 3-1, yet tempo slipped. Forward controller lost, schedule. Silence, Veshkor cut in. Reform lances, glass the anchor points. But scopes glitched again. Human forces asleep in Delta swelled, decoy blooms. Real assault massed in beta, rail batteries unfolding from cargo haulers. Missiles streaked. Carriers reeled, venting plasma. Veshkor's overrides spammed the net, useless against cracked ciphers. Primitives taught us their silence, an officer whispered. Rehearsal, not weakness, Veshkor snarled. Reinforcements accelerated, but hooks dug deeper. Major Mara Cade studied Patel's map in the forward CP. Invasion vectors bent under the spoof. Rurk held the ridge. Park surge trains looped unbroken. Patel's status on their command? Cade asked. Blind and chasing ghosts, Patel replied. Frigates off-screen, your counter windows now. Cade keyed the fleet net. All units phase 4, tenders unveil, Rurk pushed the beachhead. Horizon lit with railgun fire. Tenders shed cargo pods, batteries live, drones swarming. Alien carriers bucked under the barrage, Park's voice cut in. Fuel dump complete, Major. Third wave mechs inbound, heavy parts for drones. Chaos can't stop the flow. Cade nodded to her ops team. Coordinate the breach, no gaps. Her slates synced. Rurk's infantry grinding forward, Patel's deceptions peeling screens, Park's logistics fueling the grind. Aliens adapted fast, superior drives, plasma volleys, but humans outthought the storm. Veshkor's dropships wheeled for a counterdrop. Cade traced the vector. Patel spiked their telemetry, feed them Rurk's ghosts. Done, Patel said. They'll hit empty ridges. Cade watched the feeds converge. Training turned rehearsals real. Logistics bridged the impossible. Coordination broke superior force. Beachhead secured. Counter-invasion rolled. Sergeant Jun Park gunned the lead train through subsurface tunnels. Alarms wailed, alien drones burrowing above. Keep her steady, Park barked to his crew. Fuel cars forward, ammo next. A tunnel shuddered. Drone strike collapsed a shaft. Park rerouted on instinct, backup lines drilled years back. Cap heavies delivered, he reported. Rurk's drones refueled, parts for the swarm. Rurk's affirm came sharp. Rig confirmed, drop hit Paydert. Park's convoy snaked on, tenders linking surface ports. Chaos raged topside, plasma blooms, railgun cracks, but supplies flowed, fuel for mechs. Ammo for the line, parts keeping drones aloft. Enemy saboteurs probed the rails, Park's guards lit them up, short, brutal fire. No disruption stuck. Major surge complete, Park growled. We break 'em here. Cade's voice, copy, hooks in deep. Park punched the throttle. War lived on his rails. Aliens could glass the stars. They'd never outmove human stubbornness. Doctor. Patel watched the capstone unfold. Veshkor's fleet fractured. Frigates recalled too late. Carriers hold. Her spoof collapsed on cue, revealing the real mass. Human task force surging beta. Map update to all, she sent. Their admirals pivoting blind. Cade's ping. Rurk's beachhead expands. Park's fourth wave inbound. We own the tempo. Alien command net screamed, overrides failing, units isolated. Veshkor learned the hard way. Earth's silence was the trap. Patel cued the final layer. Broadcast bursts mimicked total collapse, distress flares from broken sectors, last frigates chased. Real counterstrike hammered home, carriers cracked. Invasion broke. In the bunker, Patel exhaled. Humans didn't win with brute force. They scheduled the win. Veshkor's bridge feed, stolen live, showed the Admiral's rage. Too late. Humanity's hooks held. Sergeant Jun Park slammed the crane arm down. Water surged from the megaport's flooded bays, spraying his boots. Alien plasma had cracked the seawall hours ago. Now the place drowned in salt water and twisted girders. Park ignored it. His crews chained cargo pods to the rails. Empty munitions crates flipped into assembly molds. Load the presses, Park barked. A private wrestled a hydraulic ram into place, sparks flying from jury-rigged welds. The port's old nanofab units hummed alive, reprogrammed on Park's tablet. No time for factories in the rear. They built one here rolling. Enemy drones buzzed overhead. Park's AA nest, 2 scavenged railguns on flatbeds, tracked them. Twin cracks split the air. Drones shredded mid-swarm. Keep pumping, Park yelled. Bilge engines roared, sucking floodwater into fuel recyclers. Crates filled with fresh 120 rounds, stamped hot from molten scrap. Major Cade's voice crackled over comms. Park, Rurk's holding the elevator shaft. Needs ammo yesterday. Front screaming for miracles. Park keyed his mic. Miracles are scheduled, Major. First train leaves in 20. He stabbed a gloved finger at the line boss. Seal those pods. We roll factory style. Crews bolted hatches. The lead flatbed groaned under loaded racks, 6 tons of shells borne from a drowned port. Park climbed aboard the loco cab, throttle forward. Rails vibrated. The megaport factory train snaked out, churning munitions on the move. Water still lapped the ties behind them. Park grinned, scrap into shells, flood into fuel. Humans turned ruin to rhythm. Explosions rocked the tunnel mouth ahead. Park braked hard. His fuel convoy, 10 tenders heavy with synth-jet, shuddered to a halt. Alien interdiction, gunships strafe-raining hell on the surface route. Ruins choked the standard line. Park eyed his maps. Old maglev tunnels below collapsed in the first strikes, but passable. Det squad, breach it, Park ordered. Sappers blew charges. Dust billowed. A gap yawned just wide enough. Reroute now, beat their window. Trucks reversed, winching tenders onto detour tracks. Park's guards fanned out, rifles hot. Saboteur skitter pods skittered from shadows, alien tech, spider-legged bombs. Park's shotgun boomed. One pulped. Clear! His team dragged Rex aside. First tender plunged into the dark. Rails creaked under weight. Park monitored feeds. Enemy gunships circled topside, sensors sweeping for heat plumes. His reroute dived deep, ruined tunnels masked signatures. Echolocation pinged off warped bulkheads. No lock. They're blind, the driver reported. Park nodded. Fuel trains accelerated, chains clinking. Interdiction window closed in 12 minutes. They shaved it to 10. Park punched the dash. Cade, fuel surge inbound. Rourke gets his birds aloft. Static then. Copy, pivot confirmed. Don't stop. Park didn't. Tunnels spat them out on the far side, flak blooming as guards lit incoming scouts. Tenders linked to forward depots. Fuel pumped to mech bays. Drones refueled midair. Rhythm held. Local commanders mobbed Park's outpost at dusk. Colonel Ray's from 7th Armored, face soot-streaked. Sergeant, my tanks are dry, aliens jamming everything. We fold by dawn without power. Park leaned on a crate, eyeing his prize. Captured alien power cells ripped from a downed frigate. Fist-sized, pulsing violet. His techs had cracked the casings, human adapters jury-rigged overnight. These buy time, Park said. He tossed one to Ray's. Plugs into your fusion packs, triple output, half the heat, but I need your rail guards for the next run. Ray's caught it, eyes widening as his aide slotted it home. A tank engine coughed alive. Deal, what else you got? Park slid 2 more across. Enough for your brigade. In return, you screen my ammo train from flankers. No heroics, just hold the cut. Captain Hale from infantry cut in. My platoons are down to knives, trade. Park nodded to a pallet. Cells for your sappers, clear my bypass tunnels permanent-like. Hands shook, cells traded, engines roared back to life, commanders peeled out, tanks rumbling support. Park watched them go, desperate men bought time with alien guts. His lines stayed open, supplies flowed, no front folded on his watch. Rourke's plea hit at midnight. Park, elevators a meat grinder, waves incoming, ammo at 5%, one more night, give me that. Park's convoy raced through contested flats. Last-minute resupply, mixed train, shells, fuel cells, drone parts. Enemy corvette orbited low, lancing fire. Park's lead truck ate a beam, erupted in flames. He swerved the rest into a ravine. Flank low, Park shouted. Guards returned fire, MA and PADS streaking up. Corvette banked, trailing smoke, close enough. Wheels chewed gravel. Ravines spat them onto Rourke's perimeter. Bullets snapped overhead. Park jumped down, crates crashing open. Rourke, you're miracle hot. Captain Rourke burst from the bunker, Marines hauling ammo. Park, you beautiful bastard, how? Scheduled it. Park slapped a cell into Rourke's hand. Power your turrets, shells for the shaft, hold 'em. Marines reloaded, rails chugged back empty. Rourke gripped Park's shoulder. Dawn counter, Cade's task force hooks in, we break 'em. Park nodded, mounting up. Enemy lights crested the ridge, assault landers descending. Rourke's guns barked, fresh-fed, shaft held, Park's radio lit. Cade, Park, your waves sealed it. Rourke expands. Patel's spoof has Veshkor chasing ghosts. Park throttled into the night. Front begged miracles. He manufactured them, scheduled them. War ran on rails and humans owned the tracks. Dawn broke with alien screams over open channels. Veshkor's fleet pivoted blind, frigates peeling off to phantom flares. Park's latest train, full munitions from the rolling factory, barreled toward the beachhead. Drones swarmed cover, fueled by his reroutes. Local armor rolled flank, powered by traded cells. Rourke's voice cut in. Park, elevator secure, we're topside, push. Park grinned at the horizon. Plasma bloomed, human counterstrike hitting home. Admiral Veshkor learned late, human peace was rehearsal. Logistics locked the win. One more run, then they owned the stars. Major Cade slammed the console. Patel spoofed the soft target. Make Sector 7 look ripe. Evac ships, no escorts. Dr. Patel's voice crackled back. Ghost signatures deploying. Carriers will bite. Veshkor's patterns scream overcommitment. Cade's screens flared. Alien carriers lumbered forward, their fighter bays yawning open. Veshkor bought the bait. Human retreat from the beachhead looked like panic to him. To Cade, it was baited hook. She keyed Rurk. Captain, ground fires hot in 3, sync with orbital barrage. Slice that screen. Affirm, Major. Marines locked, park shells inbound. Cade gripped her chair. Forward edge bunker shook from distant thunder. Her task force, cobbled from survivors, rerouted logistics and orbital pickets, hung by threads, but threads were her specialty. Schedules turned chaos to steel. Veshkor's voice boomed over intercepted channels, guttural alien tongue laced with triumph. Translators spat it clean. Primitives scatter, carriers purge the flank, secure the node. Cade smiled thin. He saw dormancy, she saw rehearsal. Months of drills, supply chains forged in peace. Aliens excelled at raw power, plasma lances that glassed moons, fighters that danced voids. Humans, they scheduled the dance. Carrier screens thinned as fighters swarmed ghosts. Cade punched the fire order. Orbitals away. Rurk now. Rurk's guns erupted from the ridge. Railgun salvos streaked skyward, Park's fresh munitions churning death. Human batteries, mobile, massed, relentless, linked with orbital kinetics. Slugs punched carriers' flanks. Explosions bloomed, venting atmosphere. Alien frigates wheeled too late. Veshkor's screen shredded. 2 carriers listed, fighter swarms dying in crossfire. Cade watched debris fields bloom. Human fires didn't miss. They layered, ground prelims softened shields, orbitals knifed through. Patel status? Cade demanded. Ghosts holding, Veshkor doubles down, flagship committing. Perfect. Cade tagged the beast. Veshkor's command dreadnought navigation core pulsing at its heart, prize target. Rurk boarding strike, Marines to the flagship, breach the core. Marines inbound, shuttles hot. Covering fire live. Cade vectored her pickets. Shuttles darted through the maelstrom, Rurk's assault teams clinging magnetic. Enemy point defense spat lasers, 1 shuttle vaporized. Cade's jaw set, acceptable loss. Marines lived for this, small unit grit scaled fleet-wide. Inside the flagship, breachers cut hull, Rurk's voice cut through static. Boarded, pushing to core, heavy resistance, their troops fight like demons. Hold tempo, Cade barked. Core first, Park, surge those shuttles fuel. Sergeant Park grunted back. Cells en route. Drones screening. They touch one, they eat rail. Cade's screens tracked the push. Marines leapfrogged corridors, grenades blooming in alien blood. Veshkor's guards, hulking, armored, charged with plasma glaives. Humans dodged, flanked, stabbed weak joints. Stubborn coordination. No surrender of ground, no loss of beat. Rurk roared over comms. Core secured, techs rigging. Cade exhaled once. Extract, node capture confirmed. Affirm, jump techs hours, Veshkor raging fleet converging. She saw it. Armada massing, full strength finally unleashed. Carriers reformed, dreadnoughts hulking forward. Veshkor pushed everything, half his invasion force, jump nodes priming for purge. Cade's trap snapped shut. Patel, invert the spoof, light real nodes, draw them in. Ghosts flipped. Real jump nodes, human captured, laced with charges, glowed inviting. Veshkor's fleet surged, believing victory. Half his armada piled in system, nodes locking coordinates. Cade hit the trigger. Detonate. Park's logistics had prepped it perfect. Fuel cells boosted yields, drones masked the rigs. Captured nodes erupted. Warp fields collapsed. Half the invasion fleet stranded, drives fried, jumps impossible. Veshkor's flagship bucked. His voice shattered channels. What sorcery? Navigation dead, primitives, how? Cade leaned in. Rurk, finish the breach, take his bridge. Marines stormed up, explosions rocked the dreadnought. Veshkor fought from his throne, glaive flashing. Rurk's boot pinned him. Yield, Admiral, your push trapped you. Veshkor snarled, mandibles clicking. Translators caught the shock. You, rehearse this, your peace was war. Rurk zip-tied him. Every damn day. Cade watched the surrender ping. Stranded fleet milled, human task force closing. Orbitals reloaded, Rurk's ground expanded. Park's trains rolled endless ammo. But Veshkor's reserves jumped blind. Final wave incoming, uncoordinated fury. Cade keyed all channels. Full counter, they pushed strength. We own the trap. Sergeant Park's convoy screamed through plasma fire, drones weaving cover. Crates rattled, ammo, fuel cells breaching charges. Enemy assault landers dotted the ridge, disgorging troops. Park floored it. "Rourke, your resupply, hold that elevator," Captain Rourke's voice barked back. "Park, miracle on rails, Marines reloading." Park slapped a cell pack. Marines hauled at bunker ward, rails thrummed alive. Shells screamed into landers, explosions chained, alien screams cut short. Major Cade's order lit his dash. "Park, node surge complete, stranded half down, push beachhead fuel, Rourke expands." Park grinned feral. Logistics won wars. He scheduled the impossible. Enemy heavies crested, tanks rumbling. His drones swarmed, locals' armor flanking from rerouted paths. Dawn broke. Human counterstrike hammered. Veshkor's stranded wrecks burned. But sensors pinged, fresh alien signatures warping in. Veshkor's reserves full fury. Park throttled harder. One more run, Cade's trap deepened. Major Cade's bunker shuddered. Fresh contacts bloomed, Veshkor's reserve armada jumping uncoordinated. Dozens of cruisers, fresh carriers. They saw the stranded chaos, charged to rescue. Cade's screens danced, Patel's voice urgent. "They're piling in, Major, no patterns, rage blind." "Good," Cade vectored pickets. Rourke ground lock, Park flood the lanes. Reserve fleet dove, plasma lancing stragglers. Humans held tempo. Rourke's rails synced orbitals again, carriers sliced mid-swoop. Marines boarded wrecks, turning guns inward. Park's trains pierced the beachhead. Fuel cells powered turrets. Ammo fed the grind. Veshkor, captive on his bridge, watched via feed. His mandibles dropped. "You turn our strength to chains," Cade patched through. "You pushed full, we scheduled it." Reserve lead carrier exploded under layered fire. Fleet faltered. Humans pressed, coordination unbreakable. One cruiser broke through, ramming orbit. Alarms wailed. Cade stood. "Board it, end this wave." Marines launched. War's rails hummed human. Captain Rourke kicked in the bridge hatch. Alien crew spun, glaives raised. Marines poured fire, precise, unrelenting. Rourke's squad cleared room by room. "Core secure," a tech called. "Navigation hours," Rourke keyed Cade. "Boarded, Major, their jump nodes hot, reserves linking." Cade's response snapped. "Rig it, detonate on my mark." Rourke's Marines hauled charges. Enemy reinforcements battered hulls. Park's drones screened shuttles out. Veshkor glared from captivity feed. "Madness, we outmatch." "Quiet," Rourke growled. "Your admiral learns late." Charges armed, shuttles extracted. Cade's voice, "Mark." Node blue. Reserve warp toward, dozens more ships yanked in system, drives shredded, armada crippled. Cade watched the graveyard form. Human task force reformed, fresh from Park's lines. Veshkor slumped. "How dormant primitives?" Cade smiled. "Rehearsal." But deep scans pinged. One ship fled, signal beaming home. Invasion's core stirred. Cade punched orders. "Hunt it, war's not done." Captain Elias Rourke slammed his boot into the apartment door. Splinters flew. His squad poured through, rifles up. Alien shouts echoed from the street below, skittering claws on pavement, plasma rifles whining to charge. "Barricade the lobby," Rourke barked. "Trip mines on stairs, second floor overlapping fields of fire." Marines dragged furniture into piles. Concrete chunks reinforced doorways. Rourke keyed his visor HUD. Enemy Marines, 200 strong, pushed up the block. Taller than humans, armored in iridescent chitin, they wielded glaives that spat blue fire. Outnumbered 3-1. Ammo at 30%. Broadcast crackled. Alien voice translated choppy. "Primitives, surrender, your nests burn, mercy if compliant." Rourke snorted. "Tell him to fuck off, Corporal." "Done, sir." He crouched by a window, scoped the advance. Aliens fanned out probes, scanning for traps. Smart. But predictable, always flanked the same way. "Suppressors on 3, 2, 1. Rourke's fired him unleashed. Rounds punched through lower armor joints. 2 aliens dropped, legs severed. The rest scattered, returning plasma that melted window frames. Fall back. Phase 1 complete. Squad bounded rearward through kitchens, leaping fire escapes. Rourke covered the last man, stitching fire across a charging squad. One alien lunged, glaive arcing. Rourke sidestepped, drove his bayonet into its neck joint. Chitin cracked, green ichor sprayed. They hit the next block. Apartments loomed, 20 stories of concrete jungle. Perfect. "Fortify layered kill zones, Park, where's resupply?" Sergeant Jun Park's voice growled over comms. "Drones inbound, Captain. Fuel cans, ammo crates, demo packs, ETA 2 mics." "Hold the line, Cade's counting on your tempo." Rourke grinned under his helmet. "Always do." Marines swarmed buildings. Ground floor, machine gun nests behind cars. Second, grenades rigged to motion. Roofs, snipers with thermals. Rourke climbed to 5, claimed a corner unit. View overlooked the approach. Perfect crossfire. Aliens hit 30 seconds later. Probes first, blasted lobby barricades. Marines let them in, trip mines flashed. Probes vaporized, shrapnel shredding the vanguard. Enemy Marines charged. Plasma scorched walls. Rourke's rifle barked, headshot thorax hit kneecapper. One down, his squad overlapped, left flank shredded the rush, right enfiladed stragglers. "They're bunching," a Marine called. "Perfect." Rourke triggered demo. Apartment floors collapsed in sequence. Aliens plummeted into basements, crushed under rubble. Broadcast again. "Human leader, identify, surrender terms, lives spared, nests preserved, refusal ends you." Rourke patched in. "Captain Rourke, no terms, come take it." Plasma lanced his position. He rolled, fired back. Alien Marine breached the hall, glaive sweeping. Rourke's shotgun boomed point blank. Chest exploded. It crumpled. "They're bleeding us," Park reported. "But your kill ratio's 2-to-1. Keep it up." Patel's spoofing their scans. "They think you're broken." Doctor. Sienna Patel chimed in, calm as code. "Ghost signals active, Captain. They see Phantom retreat south. Bite the bait." Rourke checked feeds. Aliens split half-pursued ghosts. His block faced one platoon now, manageable. Hours ground on. Dusk fell. Aliens probed relentlessly. Rourke's Marines rotated shifts, patched wounds with foam seal. Ammo dipped critical. Civilians stirred. Screams from basements trapped families. Rourke eyed his dwindling squad. "LT, Hayes, detail for Civ rescue. Fold 'em into a vac chain." Hayes nodded. Marines kicked in sublevels. Dragged out survivors, kids wide-eyed, parents clutching bundles. No panic. Rourke's voice cut through. "Listen up, we're moving you out disciplined. Carry what you can, follow orders, you live." A woman clutched a boy. "Soldiers holding." Rourke met her gaze. "Damn right, now move." They formed chains. Civilians hauled ammo crates under cover. Kids ferried water bottles. One elder jury-rigged a radio jammer from Park's drone parts, spoofed alien comms local. Aliens adapted. Dropped drones, buzzing hunters with stings. Rourke's snipers picked the midair. Plasma rained heavier. A Marine took a hit, armor breached, screaming. Rourke dragged him to cover. "Medkit, hold on, Rays," Rays gasped. "Worth it, Cap," bagged 5. Broadcast thrummed. "Final offer, Rourke. Your position falls. Fleet glassed your cities. Yield." Rourke laughed into the mic. "Glass this." He lobbed a charge. Explosion rocked the street. Alien squad vaporized. Park's drones arrived. Crates thudded rooftops. Marines reloaded mid-firefight. Fuel cans topped vehicles hidden in alleys. Midnight. Aliens massed for push, full company, heavies inbound. Rourke's HUD pinged Major Mara Cade. "Status, Captain." "Holding, Major. Kill zones chewing 'em. Civs integrated. Ready on your word." Patel's deception window opens at dawn. Fleets committed forward. Veshkors misread our rehearsal as route. Counterpush then. Signal when set. "Roger." Rourke cut channel. Squad checked weapons. Civilians hunkered, eyes fierce. Dawn cracked. First light silhouetted alien heavies. Walkers stomping forward, cannons glowing. Rourke keyed all channels. One word, "Ready." Cade's response, "Push." Rourke kicked the breach. "Marines, attack." Squad surged. Ground floor guns pinned heavies. Roof snipers cracked pilots. Rourke led the rush, flanking through sewers, emerging behind lines. Aliens spun. Glaives flashed. Rourke's bayonet met one, parried, thrust. Fallen. Civilians fed ammo from windows. Elder's jammer scrambled, drone swarms. Park's trucks rolled up, fresh platoons disgorging. Enemy lines buckled. Heavies toppled, crushing their own. Aliens broadcast panic, no translation needed. Rourke's Marines poured fire. Aliens broke, fleeing block to block. "Regroup on me," Rourke yelled. Squad consolidated. Civs cheered quietly, hauling wounded. Comms lit Patel. "Their admiral's feed spiking. Veshkor sees it now. Your withdrawal was bait," Park grunted. "Logistics locked. Fuel for the drive." Cade patched global. "Task force Rourke's breached. Fleet counter incoming. Press." Rourke wiped ichor from his blade. Aliens retreated in disorder. His Marines advanced, terrain owned, tempo theirs, but scopes caught it, skies darkening. Fresh dropships screamed in. Veshkor's reserves. Rourke smiled. "Here they come, double time." Marines charged. Apartments burned behind, kill zones spent, but victory forged. Hours later, Rourke's lead elements hit the spaceport. Alien perimeter crumbled under coordinated fire. Shuttles waited, Park's drones screening. He boarded first. Pilots spun engines. "To orbit, Captain." "Affirm." Cade's boarding party prepped. Ascent punched. Earth shrank. Armada loomed, Veshkor's cruisers vectoring. Rourke gripped rails, one ship peeled off, engines flaring escape. Cade's voice, "Rourke, that's the courier, hunt it." "Copy." His shuttle banked, weapons hot. Veshkor's feed intercepted, mandibles clacking fury. "Primitives coordinate like hive, how?" Rourke keyed open channel. "Practice." Missiles lanced, courier jinked, chase tightened. Park reported, "Interceptors launching, will box it." Patel, "Spoofers up." "It thinks friends inbound." Courier dove at me. Rourke's shuttle pursued, G-forces crushing, shields flared, enemy guns barked. Rourke's gunner fired, hit. Courier spiraled, hull venting, crashed into hills, signal dead. Rourke exhaled. "Target down." Cade, "Good work." Armada's next wave shreds on our schedule. But sensors pinged. Deeper space, warp signatures. Invasion core inbound. Rourke checked ammo. Squad nodded. War churned on. Humans ready. Major Cade slammed the navigation core's override panel. Sparks flew. Alien code fractured under her team's brute force hack. "Core's ours," she barked into her comm. Rourke, "Park shuttles inbound. Patel, spoof their fleet net now." Park's voice crackled. "Fuel lines locked. Ammo feeds green. Your birds lift in 60. Cade's Marines sealed the chamber. Bulkheads groaned as the seized dreadnought, Veshkor's flagship, lurched into motion. Earth hung blue below. The alien armada clustered ahead, cruisers forming a blockade wall. Sensors lit red. Veshkor's voice boomed over open channels, mandibles clicking in translated fury. "Human vermin seize my throne ship. Surrender the core. Your primitives die swatted." Cade ignored him. She keyed fleet command. "All units execute pivot alpha. Close the noose." Her display bloomed with icons. Rourke's ground assault shuttles swarmed from Atmo, Park's logistics drones herding them like sheepdogs. Patel's signals jammed enemy auspex, ghost fleets multiplied on alien scopes. The dreadnought accelerated. Cade gripped her console. G-forces pinned her team. "Gunnery, prime rails, target their lead cruisers." Veshkor's armada reacted. Missiles bloomed, warp lances charging, but humans closed fast. Cade's plan turned their mass against them, seized core dictating vectors the aliens couldn't match. "They're bunching," her XO reported. "Close range in 30. Cade nodded. "That's the point." Explosions rocked the hull. Enemy fire grazed shields. Cade's railguns answered. Hypervelocity slugs punched through cruiser armor at knife-fight distances. Human gunnery drills paid off. Point defense webs shredded incoming salvos while mainsiders carved hulls. One cruiser vented atmosphere. Another listed engines dead. Veshkor's fleet recoiled, but Cade's task force pressed. Rourke's Marines boarded flanks, breaching weak points. Park's resupply pods latched mid-dogfight, feeding ammo without pause. "Admiral," Cade transmitted, voice comm, "your invasion stalls, terms full withdrawal, surrender of all orbitals, comply or we gut your armada." Silence stretched. Veshkor's mandibles rasped. "You jest, mammal, my reinforcements warp and your clock ticks." Cade's eyes narrowed. Sensors confirmed it, warp pings at system edge. Stall tactic, she smiled thinly. "Patel, spoofers maxed," the strategist replied. "They see 10 fleets incoming, ours," Veshkor barked orders. His cruisers lunged, desperate bid to reclaim the flagship. Cade's dreadnought rolled, rails barking. A direct hit sheared an enemy bridge. Debris fields thickened, turning space to gravel. "Boarders repelled," Rourke growled over comm. "Pushing to their engine deck," Park cut in. "Logie train hit, rerouting, 5 minutes." Cade tracked it all. Her viewport showed the armada fracturing. Human coordination turned chaos to calculus. Shuttles darted through kill zones, drones screened, gunners predicted arcs from peacetime sims. Veshkor's voice returned, edged. "Terms, discussed, hold fire, reinforcements demand parley." Cade's finger hovered over execute. Stall confirmed, warp signatures faded under Patel's ghosts. "No time for chat," she punched the key. "All units synchronized burn now." Railguns roared in unison. Task force fired as one pre-planned salvo from seized core's precision. Veshkor's cruisers buckled. Lead ships exploded, chains lighting the void. The Admiral's flagship shuddered. Alarms wailed. Cade's Marines advanced down corridors, blades and rifles clearing nests. She led from the ops pit, pistol drawn. Veshkor loomed on the bridge feed, hulking, chitin cracked. "Impossible, your kind rehearses peace." Cade stepped forward as her team breached. "We call it training." Rourke's squad hit engines first. Explosives breached fuel lines, Park sabotage drones already inside, rigging overloads. Veshkor's reserves scattered, but human interceptors launched from hidden carriers boxed them, Patel pinged. Galaxy nets open, broadcast ready. Cade faced the pickup. Marines flanked her, weapons trained on the Admiral's guards. Veshkor froze, bound by shock troopers. "Attention, all invading forces," Cade said, voice steady. "This is Major Mara Cade, Terran Defense Force. Your armada breaks here. Withdraw or join the debris. Humanity rehearses. Test us again and burn." She cut the feed. Core command pulsed green. "Burn sequence armed." Veshkor's mandibles worked soundlessly. "Dormant, no, hive-mind predators." Cade turned to her team. "Rurk, secure the Admiral." "Park, spool evac, we're punching out." Explosions chained through the dreadnought. Enemy cruisers crumbled under the burn, synchronized rails turning superiority to scrap. One held Veshkor's last bastion. It warped away, trailing fire. Cade's shuttle detached. Task Force coalesced behind her. Earth swelled as they descended. Victory etched in hull scores and empty skies, but scopes pinged. Deeper black, new signatures, not retreat, escalation. Rurk keyed in. "Cade, that's no courier, battle fleet massing." She checked readings, nodded. "Logistics drill, Park double ammo runs, Patel pattern their approach." War churned eternal. Humans ready, always. Cade's fleet reformed in high orbit. The seized dreadnought's husk tumbled below a warning pyre. Veshkor's armada remnants fled system fringes, but her sensors painted the real threat. Reinforcements uncoiling from warp, twice the mass. "Admirals hail," comms officer said. Cade accepted. Veshkor's face filled the screen, scarred but defiant. "Your burn claims my vanguard." "Reinforcements arrive, yield the core." She leaned in. "Core's slagged, your nav advantage gone, close again." His eyes narrowed, alien pride cracking. "Primitives fight dirty, gunnery defies logic." "Practice," Cade said, echo of Rurk's taunt. She cut the line. Patel broke in. "Their patterns predictable, overconfident swarm tactics, feed me their command net." "Done." Cade vectored data. Park's voice layered under, "Supply chain intact, fuel for 3 burns." Goal locked, force another knife fight. Humans excelled there. Peacetime fleets drilled point-blank salvos, aliens favored standoff lances. "Task Force form wedge," Cade ordered. "Rurk's borders on flanks, draw them in." Enemy fleet charged, dozens of cruisers, escorts screening. Veshkor led, new flagship gleaming. Missiles traded, human point defense 890%. Rails answered, hulls hold at 5 clicks. Aliens recoiled, lances grazing shields. "They're pulling range," Exo noted. Cade smirked. "Patel ghosts," spoofers bloomed. Enemy scopes showed human carriers gutted, easy prey. Veshkor bit fleet dove close. Rails thundered. Human gunnery shredded escorts. Rurk's Marines swarmed breaches, seizing gun decks. Park's drones zipped through vents, planting charges. Veshkor's new ship bucked. "Boarders aboard, how coordinate without hive?" Cade's shuttle launched amid the melee. "Training!" They punched into his hangar. Marines poured out, rifles cracking. Alien troops fell back, disciplined but slower in corridors built for claws. Cade hit the bridge with Rurk. Veshkor whirled, energy blade humming. "You again." Rurk parried, Cade flanked, pistol barking. Guards dropped, terms offered anew. "Surrender fleet codes, end this." Veshkor stalled. "Reinforcements, strike." Parks charges blue engines. Ship listed, Cade seized console. Broadcast live. "To the galaxy, invaders learn." Humans turn rehearsals to reality. Flee or ash. Synchronized burn ignited. Fleet remnants vaporized. Veshkor's ship cracked, Admiral ejected in escape pod, captured by drones. Orbit cleared, Earth safe, but warp echoes whispered more. Cade exhaled. "Debrief in 5. Next wave preps. Humans endured, outthought, outlasted. Her task force ghosted through debris fields, patrols swept remnants. Park's logistics web hummed, ships refueled mid-drift. Sensors screamed, warp rupture massive. Invasion core, carrier swarms, battleships blotting stars. Veshkor's voice from captivity. "My high command, you doom yourselves." Cade ignored. "Patel, decrypt their core drives. Rurk, boarding prep." Core seized, earlier fed her the path. Enemy nav blind spots exploited. "All hands, anvil hammer." Fleet accelerated into the maw. Carriers vomited dropships. Battleships lanced fire, humans.